Adolescence Full Recap. Today we're recapping Netflix's limited series Adolescence, a gripping drama that dives into the turbulent life of Jamie Miller, a teenager caught in the middle of a murder investigation. This series explores the intense emotional struggles of youth, family loyalty, and the quest for truth amidst suspicion and pain. Stick around as we break down the plot, key moments, and what makes Adolescence such a powerful story. Adolescence is a gripping new drama series that dives deep into the complexity of teenage life, family bonds, and the harsh realities of crime and justice. At its heart, it follows the story of Jamie Miller, a teenager suddenly thrust into the darkest of situations when he is arrested for the murder of a classmate. The series explores themes of innocence and guilt, the pressure of societal judgment, and the emotional turmoil within families grappling with trauma. It takes viewers on a tense journey through police investigations, courtroom drama, and the fragile psychology of youth caught in the justice system. The story opens in the early hours of the morning when Detective Inspector Luke and Detective Sergeant Frank, along with their team, raid the Miller family home. The sudden chaos disrupts the household. No one expects such a violent intrusion. The officers have a warrant to search the house and are looking for Jamie Miller. When Jamie is found, guns are pointed at him, and he is informed he is under arrest for murder. The shock is overwhelming. Jamie is terrified and even wets his pants. His father, Eddie, is called in to support him. The police methodically tear through every corner of the house, searching for evidence and the murder weapon, leaving the Millers confused and agitated. They demand answers but are dismissed coldly. As Jamie is escorted out, the family tries to stop the arrest, insisting that their son couldn't have committed such a crime. But Jamie is taken away, his father urging him to keep silent. On the bus to the precinct, Jamie pleads for someone to believe his innocence, but Detective Luke remains distant. At the station, Jamie agrees to have a lawyer appointed since he doesn't have one. When asked who he wants as a responsible adult during the process, he firmly requests his father, Eddie. Routine questions follow about medication, medical conditions, allergies, and mental health. Jamie denies all concerns, including any suicidal thoughts. He is informed he will be held in custody for 24 hours while the evidence is compiled. Luke calmly suggests they can file a formal complaint, but reminds them that Jamie will need a responsible adult present, his father. Eddie is warned sternly that if Jamie shares any details about the crime with him, he will be excluded. Eddie, confident in his son's innocence, dismisses the warning. Later, Luke confides in Detective Frank about his concerns regarding Eddie, recalling a previous case where a father was deeply involved in serious crime. But Frank trusts her instincts and dismisses Luke's suspicion, feeling this case is different. Jamie is taken for a medical evaluation. Alone with Eddie, he breaks down, desperately asking if his father believes him. Eddie tries to stay calm and reassures Jamie that he does believe him, encouraging him to eat. Soon after, their assigned lawyer Paul arrives and introduces himself. He explains that the officers will provide key details and that Eddie's role is to keep Jamie calm and composed throughout the process. Paul meets briefly with the detectives, who only share basic information. Before the interrogation, Paul sits down with Jamie and Eddie to prepare Jamie. Calmly, he praises Jamie for handling everything so far, and then asks unexpectedly about Jamie's favorite subject. Jamie, startled, says, "History." Paul probes gently, and Jamie explains he likes stories. Paul praises Jamie's intelligence and stresses that he is not there to make Jamie admit guilt, but to protect him no matter what. He warns Jamie that the police already assume his guilt and coaches him on how to respond to interrogation questions. Eddie and Paul promise to support Jamie through the process. Just before they enter the interrogation room, Eddie asks Jamie if he committed the crime. Jamie firmly denies it. During the recorded interrogation, Jamie answers routine questions with no comment as advised. Then Detective Luke presents a thick file containing Jamie's digital footprint, negative comments about women, hostile messages, and social media posts. Jamie is shocked and denies harboring ill feelings. Luke shifts the focus to Jamie's friends, who frequently appear on his Instagram. Jamie is visibly distressed but calms when Eddie encourages him to be truthful. Jamie names his friends but carefully avoids revealing his whereabouts the previous day. Then Luke produces a photo of Katie and asks Jamie about their relationship. It is Jamie who first asks, "Is Katie the victim?" Luke confirms this. The question shifts the tone, becoming more direct and tense. Luke and Frank lay out the evidence. Forensic reports revealing Katie was stabbed 7 times, a photo of Katie and Eddie in a parking lot the night before, and finally, damning surveillance footage showing Jamie attacking Katie. Jamie breaks down, unable to speak as tears well up. The interrogation ends with Jamie and Eddie embracing in tears. 3 days later, Luke and Frank visit the school where Katie studied to gather more evidence and search for the murder weapon. Luke sends his son Adam a voice message. promising not to disturb him during school. At school, students watch the detectives uneasily. Adam listens to his father's message but soon gets bullied, a reminder of everyday school cruelty. Katie's best friend Jade is interviewed but coldly insists Katie wasn't close to Jamie. When pressed about Katie's social media comments on Jamie's posts, Jade grows irritated and drops a bombshell, hinting Katie hated Jamie before abruptly leaving. With little new information, the detectives visit Jamie's classroom. The atmosphere is indifferent. Luke leaves his contact information and hopes for tips. Outside, Luke and Frank discuss Jade's anger and cryptic hint. They resolve to investigate students acting strangely and try to extract more information. In another classroom, the teacher introduces Luke as Adam's father, triggering mockery.
Adam's dad.
Adam.
All right, that's enough. That's it, stop that!
Luke quickly reminds students of the serious crime. Suddenly, the fire alarm rings, scattering everyone to the schoolyard, where Jade violently attacks Ryan, one of Jamie's friends. Ryan is taken to the nurse, where Luke questions him directly. Ryan admits hanging out with Jamie on the night of the murder, but denies knowing anything about the murder weapon. When pressed, Ryan grows nervous and walks away. Later, Adam confides in Luke about the meaning behind Katie's Instagram comments, references to red pill, dynamite, incels, and coded love emojis, revealing a darker layer of bullying aimed at Jamie. Luke and Frank reconsider their approach, realizing Katie may have been tormenting Jamie. When they return to question Ryan, he bolts out a window but is caught. In interrogation, Ryan confesses to owning the murder weapon, but claims he doesn't know where it is now. Shockingly, Luke is arrested for conspiracy to commit murder, unraveling the investigation. Months later, Jamie remains in a juvenile psychiatric center, awaiting trial. Psychologist Bryony reviews footage of Jamie involved in a violent incident with another boy. During their sessions, she tries to connect with Jamie, bringing marshmallows, hot chocolate, and sandwiches to build trust. Jamie shares memories of his family, his father's stoic but kind nature, and his complex feelings about masculinity. He admits to frustration and anger, but denies any violent tendencies toward Katie. As Bryony digs deeper, Jamie opens up about Katie's bullying and a series of painful events leading up to the murder. He insists the videos of him attacking Katie are doctored and maintains his innocence. When asked about his understanding of death, Jamie admits he knows the legal consequences, but struggles with the emotional weight of the concept. Their conversations are intense, sometimes escalating into violent outbursts. Despite this, Bryony remains patient and compassionate, urging Jamie to accept psychological help regardless of the trial's outcome. 13 months into the trial, the Miller family struggles to live a normal life. On Eddie's birthday, Manda prepares breakfast, encouraging him to open his cards. Eddie is touched by a handmade card from Jamie, but then Lisa arrives with news of offensive graffiti sprayed on their work truck. Eddie insists on fixing it himself, despite Manda's worries. At the site, Eddie lashes out at local youths mocking him, violently throwing a bike and splattering paint in frustration. The store guard demands he clean the mess, but Eddie leaves angrily. Jamie calls Eddie on their way home to wish him a happy birthday and reveals he has decided to plead guilty. The news crushes Eddie and Manda. Jamie apologizes before hanging up. The family falls into a heavy silence. Later, Manda and Eddie discuss Jamie's progress and the guilt weighing on them. Eddie regrets not protecting Jamie better and laments the isolation Jamie endured, even in his own room. Despite the pain, they agree running away won't help. Lisa suggests a movie night, offering some comfort. The series closes with Eddie visiting Jamie's room, overwhelmed by emotion as he tucks Jamie's teddy bear into the sheets and sobs quietly. Adolescence is a powerful exploration of the intersection between youth, trauma, and justice, forcing viewers to confront the complexities of truth, family loyalty, and the consequences of bullying. It leaves us questioning who the real victims are and the cost of misunderstanding and mistrust. Thanks for watching this deep dive into Adolescence. If you enjoyed this summary and want more insights on your favorite shows, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to stay updated on new content.
Hey!